1961. A man was screaming. He was in terrible pain. He begged for mercy. He desperately asked to stop. But the scientist said, "Continue." The man screamed louder. The scientist calmly repeated, "Continue." What would you do? Would you stop? Most people say yes. I would never do that. But when the real experiment happened, most people did not stop. They kept going. They kept pressing the button. Who were these people? Not criminals, not monsters, ordinary people, teachers, office workers, fathers, mothers, people just like you, people just like me. Some were shaking, some were sweating, some were crying, yet they continued. Why? Why did normal people obey? This question shocked the entire world. The greatest danger to humanity is not always evil people. Sometimes it is ordinary people just following orders. This is the story of the Milgram Experiment. You might have done the same. 961, Yale University. A psychologist named Stanley Milgram wanted to understand obedience. He designed a simple test. Participants thought they were helping with a learning study. They were told they would be the teacher. Another person would be the learner. The learner was strapped into a chair with electrodes on his wrist. The scientist sat in another room, in front of a shock generator. The machine had 30 levels, from slight shock to danger, severe shock. They were told the shocks were real, but actually, the learner was an actor. The experiment began. The scientist asked questions. For every wrong answer, the scientist had to give a shock and increase the voltage each time. At first, the learner was fine, but soon he started complaining. Then he screamed, "I can't take it anymore." He begged to be let out. He said he had a heart condition. The teacher looked at the experimenter. The man in the white coat said calmly, "Continue." The shocks got stronger. The learner became silent. Still, the experimenter said, "The experiment requires that you continue." 65% of the teachers went all the way to 450 volts. They thought they were killing the learner, but they still obeyed. The results shocked the world. 65% of ordinary people went all the way to 450 volts. They believed they were killing a man, but they still obeyed the scientists. Only 35% refused at some point. Most continued even when the learner went silent. The participants were not evil. They were normal people. They felt bad. They were sweating. Some were crying. Yet they obeyed authority. The man in the white coat. Milgram proved something terrifying. Ordinary people can do terrible things when they are told to do so by authority. This explained many dark chapters in history, like the Holocaust. How could normal humans participate in such horror? Now we know. The greatest danger is not monsters. It is normal people blindly following orders. So the next time someone in power tells you, "Just follow orders," ask yourself, will I obey? Or will I think for myself? This is the Milgram Experiment. Warning from history. A warning for all of us. So why did so many people obey? Milgram had a clear answer. Called it the agentic state. In normal life, we act as individuals. We take responsibility for our actions. But when authority appears, we enter the agentic state. We become just an agent, carrying out someone else's wishes. We stop thinking as ourselves. We shift all responsibility to the authority. I was just following orders. This phrase has defended many terrible acts. The white coat gave legitimacy. The university lab gave authority. The experimenter sounded confident. Participants didn't want to look difficult. They feared being rude to the expert. They feared being seen as uncooperative. The shocks increased gradually. 15 volts, 30 volts, 45 volts. Small steps made it feel normal. By the time it reached 300 volts, it was too late to turn back. They were already committed. This is called the foot in the door technique. Small commitments lead to big actions. Most people are good at heart, but authority can override our conscience. This is not weakness. This is human nature. We are wired to respect authority. The real question is, how do we protect ourselves from this? How do we stay human when told to obey? Milgram showed us the danger. Now it's up to us to learn from it. This was not just a lab experiment. Milgram's findings explained real horrors in history, especially one of the darkest chapters, the Holocaust. How could ordinary German soldiers participate in mass murder? They were not all monsters. Many were teachers, fathers, and clerks. They were told, just follow orders. This is your duty. They gradually accept worse and worse acts. Just like the Milgram showed, the same mechanism. Authority plus gradual steps equals obedience. Increasing voltage in the experiment. Other examples exist too. Abu Ghraib prison scandal. Soldiers torturing prisoners because superiors told them to. The pattern is always the same. Normal people under strong authority can do unimaginable things. This is why Milgram's experiment is still studied. Today, it warns us about human nature. The danger is not just in the past, it exists right now in governments, companies, and armies. So what can we learn from Milgram? How do we protect ourselves from blind obedience? Here are the most important lessons. First, question authority. Even if someone wears a white coat or holds a high position, ask, is this right? Ask, do I agree with this? Never follow blindly. Second, recognize the gradual trap. Small steps lead to big wrongs. One small compromise can take you very far. Third, find moral courage. The people who refused in Milgram, they were not braver than others. They just decided to take responsibility. You are responsible for your actions, even when someone tells you to continue. Fourth, support those who resist. If you see someone saying no, stand with them. Fifth, build your own moral compass. Know your values before the pressure comes. Decide in advance where you will draw the line. These lessons can save lives. They can protect societies. They can protect you. The Milgram experiment is not just history. It is a warning for all of us. Milgram's experiment is not old history. Its lessons are happening right now in our daily lives. On social media, people cancel others just because the group demands it. In offices, employees stay silent when they see something wrong because the boss wants it that way. In politics, people support leaders even when they cross moral lines. The pressure to conform is stronger than ever, but the danger remains the same. Milgram warns us, never give up your moral responsibility, no matter who tells you to continue. The scariest truth is that ordinary people like you and me can become part of terrible things, but we can also choose differently. We can be the ones who say, no, this is wrong. That choice can change everything. The choice is yours. What will you do? When they tell you to continue, think, question, resist. Your humanity depends on it. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching.